Hello everyone, it's Joel Davis with the United Medical Transportation Providers Group, and you are thebroker.com, helping you to build a highly effective and highly profitable broker business. I got to keep my hand on the wheel and one on the phone. This is very much an impromptu video, only because I'm so inspired, and I have a lengthy drive. I'm actually going to meet some contractors who I'm excited about, doing some great things for us. So, anyways, I just was sitting here thinking, because I got off the phone a short time ago with Dan. That's why I became motivated to make this video. And he was telling me about a provider who he talked to this morning, who she became inspired to reach out to us and enlist our help, because in watching some of my previous videos, I mentioned the provider from a couple years ago who was doing work with Logistic Care, and he thought he was rocking it. He was doing $80,000 a month with Logistic Care, but it was costing him $85,000 a month to collect that money. A clear loss. Killing the vehicles, dealing with human resource issues, all to lose money. Absolutely insane. Anyways, this provider who called Dan today to sign up for our services, I'm going to butcher this a little bit, but she said that she either, she either made $200,000 last year with Logistic Care, but it cost her $230,000 to get that $200,000, or she made $230,000 and she lost $30,000, so it would have been $260,000 for her. Either way, you get the idea. Either way, she lost a lot of money as well. I don't know anything about her as of yet. She just signed up today, so I don't know if she was only one-dimensional doing stuff with Logistic Care, or if that was a smaller component and she had other sources of revenue. I'm not sure. I don't know those details, but either way, anything she was doing with Logistic Care that's a loser deal. So here is the purpose of this message, because I just sit here and I scratch my bald head thinking about this. And here's what I need you to do. I need you to literally spend some time soul searching, consider where you're taking losses. Are you taking losses financially? Are you taking losses with assets, purchase the wrong type of assets, using the wrong type of assets? Use your business model just upside down? Is it not profitable? Regardless, wherever you're taking losses, here's what I want you to do. Put a dollar amount on that. What is the value of those losses? Now, don't get me wrong, here's the upside. Any of those losses you took, huge learning lessons. But man, if those learning lessons aren't frustrating, they aren't costly, they could wreck marriages, wreck relationships, keep you up at night, make you agitated, all that kind of good stuff. But here's what I need you to do. What is the value of those losses? Because the reason why I became so inspired by to make this video from that conference call that Dan had was, Dan said that she was almost in tears, because she said, had she just enlisted our help from the beginning, she never would have been in this situation. And again, take this for what it's worth. I have not spoken to her yet personally. She just signed up today, so this is going to be a process for her. I have a lot more to learn about her, so this is very much, secondhand. She talked to Dan. I'm hearing it from Dan, so I'm sure there's some loss in translation there, but you get the idea. She specifically said, had I just reached out to you guys, used you guys from the beginning, she said, and I'm, again, take it for what it's worth, when I say quote unquote, her life would have been completely different. Well, I could only imagine. I don't know how much her life would be different, but her business would definitely have been different, because I promise you, there's no way. Could she do Logistic Care work? Sure. I got a client provider I'm working with right now, and I told him, we're going to keep doing what we're doing with Logistic Care. Good dude. Cool cat. Just started working with him a couple weeks back. I told him specifically, is he killing it? No, but he's making a little margin. It's giving us breathing room while we restructure and transition his business, do some different things. Bottom line, it's giving us options. So he is doing Logistic Care work. I told him, you keep doing this. Are we going to transition away from it? Yes, of course we are. But we need to keep it in place right now while we do some other things. Now understand, his work is profitable. I guarantee that. Otherwise, we absolutely would not be doing it. We'd cut off the spigot ASAP. Even more so, he's doing a lot of distance stuff. So here's another classic example where everyone thinks I'm anti-minivans, which I'm not a big fan of the minivans for a variety of reasons, but it all depends on your business model. He's a classic example where I even told him we need to deploy some minivans. But again, it's a unique business model. This is why every single business model is different. It's unique. That's why we evaluate every business differently. So, and going back to the main point, I need you to seriously consider what is the value of your losses, the stress, the agitation, the headaches, the heartaches. What's the value and what's the price? How much are you willing to lose before you hit that point in time where you're like, you know what? I might need some outside help, A. B, I definitely need change. I definitely need change. C, this just ain't working. So, literally think about it. Put it down. If you're starting your business, say, all right, I'm willing to lose $100,000 before I get to a point in time where I'm ready to reach out for some help. If you're already in business, say, okay, I'm losing some money here, or this is a big one, we're making money, but my margins aren't where they want. Maybe your margins are 15%, and you're saying, man, I want to sprinkle this 15% margin all over my Cheerios in the morning. Maybe you're making more than that. I don't know. Maybe, you know, in the NEMT business, I say realistically, I want you around 25 and up, 25% margin on up. Maybe you're at 25% already and you're like, you know what? I know I can get more. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly where I want to be. So I think I should be at 35%. Okay, well, if you want 35%, we just started to place the value on that. So we know there's a 10% margin there. Okay, if you had, and let's say for easy math, let's say you had $1 million business. You had $1 million business, you got 25% margin. You know that you could modify some things, tweak things, do things a little bit different, maybe rebrand your business. And if you do these different things, you're going to get to 35% margin. So we already know, boom, that's 10% margin right now. So we know we're talking about $100,000 right there. So that's $100,000. So we've identified the percentage, we've identified the dollar amount. Now I want you to say, okay, how much of that are you willing to invest to learn how to get that 10% increased margin, the additional $100,000 a year? What's the value on that? For those of you who are not in that situation, and you're more like the provider who called us today, and the one I mentioned who was spending $85,000 to make $80,000 a month with Logistic Care, you got to say to yourself, man, what is the price, and when do I hit that wall? When do I hit rock bottom where it's like, you know what, this ain't working? Lost a lot of money, waste a lot of time, waste a lot of effort. What's the value on that? I get people literally, this is crazy. Pay attention to this one, man. I get people who literally have built their business off advice from their insurance agent. There's a reason why they're in the insurance industry and not in the NEMT or the home care industries. There's a reason for that. And now, do you think them giving you advice, do you think they're not going to try to steer you, direct you into the type of policies and products that they want to sell you? Absolutely. And this one's even better. This one is even better. I've had people that have built the absolute worst, stupidest business models. Where did they get all their business acumen and NEMT advice and know-how from? From car dealerships. More specifically, I'm going to drop this dime because this one is so laughable. Mobility Works. I literally have a provider who went bankrupt last year. All the vehicles, all brand new. Maybe I take it back. One of them I think was nearly new. It was like a year old, whatever it was. Started out, I think if I recall correctly, had 3 brand new Ford Transits. One was a year older, so it was nearly new. All sold by who? Mobility Works. And where did they get all this? I call it brother-in-law advice, all that free advice. You know, it's all that advice you get when you go to the family Thanksgiving dinner, and your brother-in-law advice, he's the resident expert and tells you what you should be doing with this, that, and the other thing. All the while, he's never done it himself, and he probably doesn't even have 2 nickels to rub together. All that free advice, all that White Walker advice you find all over, all those Facebook groups, all those chat rooms, all that White Walker advice, all that free advice, man. Man, just go eat that. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, supplements in between. Eat all that stuff, man. And anyways, when you hit the wall after taking all that freebie, all that White Walker advice, what's the value on that? What's the value of that? How much of a loss are you willing to take? How much money are you willing to lose? How much time are you willing to waste before you finally say, boom, I can't go any further? I've witnessed marriages, I'm going to be honest with you, I've witnessed situations where marriages have been wrecked. Why? Because, well, supposedly, and I don't know this to be true, but from what I hear, it's one of the biggest causes of divorce is finances. Well, okay, well, let's guesstimate and say it's true, or at least half true. Well, if finances are wrecking marriages, and you're relying on your business for your finances to help build, grow, and sustain and support the family, that business goes south, I would hazard to bet there's going to be strain on that marriage. Because trust me, I've seen it. I've worked with plenty of husband and wife teams, and I've seen marriages get wrecked, businesses get wrecked. So these are all factors that you need to throw into that stew as you're stirring it up, stirring it about, to try to determine what is the value. What's the value of listening to the brother-in-law advice, the Walker advice, all the wannabe resident experts who haven't done it themselves, who aren't doing it themselves, listening to, think about that for a second. Just pause and think about that. This person who partnered with, and I'm going to say partnered with, they partnered with Mobility Works because they bought 4 vehicles from Mobility Works and got all their free advice, all that brother-in-law advice, all that White Walker advice for free, or so they thought. Because think about how much they lost when they went bankrupt last year. They went bankrupt, belly up. And think about how stupid that was for Mobility Works, because, the vehicles all got repoed. Craziness, absolute craziness. So what is the value of listening to the wrong people? What is the value of thinking, okay, you know what? I'm new to this, but I'm smarter. I'm not going to listen to this international sex symbol, this beautiful, sexy, bald guy who is online. You know, everyone who's online, they're all scammers, all scammers, and con artists. Trust me, I get that. There's a lot of that. And that definitely hurts us because there's a lot of garbage out there. But hey, I try to be as transparent and honest as I can. Some of you get it, some of you don't. It is what it is. But again, what is the value of that? We even had, I want to say we had 2 or 3, maybe it was 2, I don't know. But either way, even like with youarethebroker.com, where we have our training only option, we had, maybe it was 2. We had 2 people who've now become active licensees who started with the training material only, and they became active licensees, but they basically mentioned, like, yeah, I tried to do this on my own, started to move things, but they just were having a hard time trying to grow it and scale it. Because they literally, here's the problem. A lot of that stuff, you get caught and you're doing it yourself. Just like if you're an owner operator, I don't care what industry, whether it's your NEMT, whether it's home care and you're trying to render care yourself, if it's a broker business and you go out there and you get your box truck and you're trying to do it yourself. If you're caught in a quagmire being an owner operator yourself and you're not scaling, that's a problem. So you could listen to a lot of those people out there. There's a million videos out there. People telling you how to do this, how to do that, how to make widgets, how to sell widgets, all that stuff. But you got to ask yourself, are they doing it themselves? Are they slinging that hash? Are they big backing it themselves, breaking those backs? Are they doing it themselves? Are they doing? Look, it's cool. I've mentioned before, if I got to dig a ditch, I'll dig a ditch. It'll be the best ditch you ever did see. but I'm not digging ditches long term. I'll do it in the short term, but not long term. There's got to be a clear pathway, a clear transition to growing and scaling. It's just like when I was driving in my NEMT business. I was the first driver, I was the first dispatcher, I was the first accounts manager. I was all of it wrapped up in one. And even then, even as I hired people, I still had to drive. I had to drive periodically, and little by little, I'd take myself off. I'd be more involved in the sales and the personal promotions aspect of it. And I always knew, though, that when I drive, I know I lose. Every time Joel Davis drove, I lose. I knew that. Same thing with You Are the Broker. We had 2 guys who are now licensees who went out there, did themselves. I'm cool with that. Do that. But if you find yourself where you are only an owner-operator and you're not able to scale, we have a serious problem. Anything I do, anything I teach you, whether it's NEMT, whether it's home care, whether it's your broker business, it's about helping you, positioning you to grow and scale. I do not want you to be a perpetual independent operator. Again, you can watch videos and you're going to see people out there slinging that hash. Look how successful I am. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Ralphie. Watch me sling this hash. Look how successful I am. That's cool. If you want to be a perpetual owner operator the rest of your life. That's never my plan for me. That's not my plan. That's not my vision for you. So I encourage you. I know I've rambled a long time. I apologize, but I really don't. I encourage you, do some soul searching and ask yourself, what is the value of my losses? What's the value of my losses? How much am I willing to lose? How long am I willing to wait to figure it out? How long am I willing to wait to put myself out there in the best possible manner? What's the value on that? Because even though I haven't lost money, I'm delaying. Now I'm losing time. So just because you're not losing money doesn't mean you're not losing time. Doesn't mean you could be chasing down some rabbit holes, researching this, researching that, listening to the wrong people, listening to the Mobility Works car salesman, listening to bogus sales agents trying to sell you stuff you don't need, watching all that garbage on YouTube as you sit here and watch me on YouTube. Trust me, I get it. I understand. That's the paradox. That's the oxymoron. I get all that. I'm getting off the exit to go meet my prospective contractor. So I'll get off in a minute here, but so I know here I am online complaining about people online. Here I am on YouTube complaining about other people on YouTube. But look, man, at some point in time, you have to determine what is the value of your losses in money, time, and effort. You may not have lost any of them yet. Kudos to you. If that's the case, take the right action, build the right business model, deploy the right strategies, the right tactics. If you're not where you want to be, it's time to reevaluate, deploy the right tactics, the right strategies. If you're taking big hits, what's the value on that? It's time for change. It is time for change. All right, listen up, my peoples. The fat man has got to get some Dunkin' Donuts. I need to get me an iced coffee, and I need my Boston cream, and there's one up here. So I'm gonna hit that real quick, and then I'm gonna go meet my prospective contractor. So I'll catch you in the next video. I hope you found some value in this. I hope you are able to look past my video shaking all over the place. But stay tuned, more to come. Learn from the message from today and that provider called Dan and everybody else in between, because when you do, I'll see you at the top.